everyone! Today we're going to be talking about a question I get asked a lot about in my DMs, and that is, what is the best computer for dental school? We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the budget-friendly option. So stick around because we're about to get techie. Okay, so before we dive into devices, I want to make two things very clear. One is that there's two types of schools. There's schools that will purchase a computer for you, included in your tuition, and they give you the device and you don't have to think twice about it. And then there's the second type of school, which is the majority of schools, which let you choose your own device, which is great, you have autonomy, but then it's your responsibility to make sure that all the specs for your computer are going to work with whatever programs they have planned for you guys for the next 4 years. So for example, our first year of dental school, our school was testing an online testing software we don't use anymore. But some students only came into dental school with an iPad, and so if they were trying to test on the iPad, they couldn't. So they had to borrow computers from IT. And if you're already stressed out and you're taking an important exam, you don't want to be stressed out about the fact that you're doing so on an unfamiliar device. So make sure, if you're not planning on replacing your current device, and if you're getting a new one, send the specs to IT and make sure that they are enough for what they have planned for you guys. Another thing is, be honest about how you're planning on taking notes. There's tons of research that shows that actually writing out notes is significantly better than typing out notes. Why? Because they involve two completely different types of cognitive processes. So while you're writing out notes, it's impossible to get every single word, so you're already actively summarizing, and that's half the battle. While you're typing, you're kind of just getting everything down. But you also have to know when to actually switch from one to the other, because some classes will move very quickly, and if you're not getting enough down with the digital note taking, consider just typing out notes. It's not the end of the world. But again, you need to know these little technicalities first before you pick a device. Now let's dive into some great devices, some not so good devices, and let's talk about a budget-friendly option. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is actually what I used my first 2 years of dental school, and I wanted it because I wanted a 2-in-1. Now this one is extremely popular and it's always advertised for students, which is the Surface. So the Surface Pro. Oh god. Okay, well, in its defense, it is really the best 2-in-1 that I have seen in a long time in what's on the market, but it has so many flaws, you guys. I don't recommend this computer at all, but we will talk about the good of it. So good thing of it is great screen resolution. It's beautiful. I'm sorry if it's a little bit dirty from my sim lab shenanigans, but it's honestly a great resolution for the screen. It also is great for writing out digital notes. I mean, I love the stylus. I think it's very responsive. Palm detection is great. I had a great experience taking notes while it worked. It's also very versatile. I mean, I personally loved being able to throw this baby in my purse for conferences. I loved being able to have it around the sim lab and not be worried. Our sim lab actually gives us a ton of space. Like, we have great big desks, but I've seen other sim labs, especially the newer ones, they'll have like these movable tiny desks, and so you kind of want something that's going to be versatile. I know that we have those large computer screens in sim lab, but sometimes you just want to play on your own device when you're in sim lab. I found that it was great for that, and also they have great support. So if something goes wrong, because of the way that these are built, they'll actually replace the whole thing. They won't actually fix things. So you're always getting a pretty new, awesome device. So that was good. The bad thing about it is I know people that have had to have this replaced, and I shouldn't know that. For a couple people in my class that had to have their devices replaced within months of getting it, some days, Also, the base model of this is just not great for a student. You have 1,000 tabs open, you're doing things always, all the time, and for what it costs, like, the price is just not worth it. There's so much more that you can get for the same price, and I can't justify this. I know people with the Surface Book, same experience. So in order to get a great device out of this, you have to spend a ridiculous amount of money because you have to upgrade the RAM, you have to upgrade everything, and every upgrade on this is extremely expensive. So that's what I felt. And keep in mind the accessories are also separate, so pen, the keyboard. Oh, I forgot to mention, one of the great things about it is also kind of like how this keyboard detaches, but it's also kind of clunky and loud. So overall, I would say that yes, it's a good starter device, but it's a lot of money, so don't start with it. So let's talk about iPads. iPads are a great option for absolutely any student, and so you can either get just a regular iPad or you can get the iPad Pro. I find that the new iPad Pro is actually phenomenal, and it's a very good competing almost 2-in-1, so it says that it basically replaces your need for a computer, and I think that it does that probably 95% of the time. I still think that it's missing a couple of things that could do that, but it's a great option for anyone coming in wanting to get a new device and also needing a computer. But let's say you have a computer that you really love, like Greg has a computer that he really loves, and so all he wanted was just a supplemental device that would be great for note-taking, reviewing notes, things like that. And so the iPad, just a regular iPad 7th Gen, is such a great option for anyone looking to do something similar. You guys kind of have an idea of how these work. I mean, it's as good as the software on your iPhone. It's great, lots of great support. It's also very versatile, and it's easy to carry around. It is just something that makes sense. So there's tons of accessories for the iPad. You can get keyboards and of course the Apple Pencil, but the Apple Pencil is also very expensive, so if you can add it to your budget, there's also a great option. So this is the Adonit Note, and I'm not even sure if I'm saying that correctly, but this is awesome, you guys. This is everything you need if all you're planning to do is to take digital notes, okay? Because it doesn't have a bunch of the extra, brush strokes or anything like that that an artist would need, but all you need to do is take notes. You can charge it up here. It's, at the time of this video, $39.99, which is significantly cheaper than the Apple Pencil. You can turn it on and off here, so conserving your battery, and at the same time you're able to clip it on. Honestly, such a great alternative to the Apple Pencil. So you can go ahead and pair an iPad that's 7th Gen with an Adonit Note, and you've got something that's really gonna work for you. Or you can go ahead and go for the iPad Pro, and you've upgraded yourself to include something that's definitely going to be like a computer and like a tab at the same time. Also, make sure that you check that all of the software that your school is going to be using is going to be compatible with your iPad or iPad Pro if this is going to be your only means for school. Alright, let's talk about the Mac Daddy, the MacBook Pro. This baby is obviously an incredible device, and the only cons I would say would be price and the fact that you can't take notes digitally easily. So of course this is going to be primarily for somebody taking notes, typing, and you have to be okay with that. I decided to change over from my Surface Pro back to a MacBook Pro because I definitely miss the feeling of a device that works. With this, the great thing about it is that if you are somebody that's creative or you have things outside of dental school that you do, this baby will always support you. If you have a million tabs open, it doesn't matter. I mean, the base model for this, I don't know if you guys have looked at it recently, but with the new additions this year, they became more affordable. Literally $160 more affordable, around there. They give you more base model options like the RAM, your memory, everything. It's just awesome, and I was extremely excited about that. Also, you guys understand Apple support. It just makes sense. Of course, it's a little bit bulkier than, let's say, you know, an iPad or a Surface, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a computer that's going to last you beyond your dental school years. And then also, you guys have to understand that you don't need a ton of accessories for this, and you don't need a ton to protect it. It's built already with that in mind. The only thing I would say is that you can get something like a Dbrand Skin, which is what I have on this right now, and this will protect it from any scratches. I think it's a very popular opinion that people think that getting a hard case for it is going to protect your device more. It's not. Over time, you're actually going to ruin the hinges. Ask me how I know, because my 2011 one was pretty much that. I ruined the hinges with a hardcover case. So you don't need that. This is already built sturdy enough, unless you're, I don't know, in a field somewhere and you're in the military, then yes, get a case. But if not, a Dbrand Skin is all you need. It's a great company. I can put the link for any of you guys that need it. And then get a sleeve. You just get a sleeve, throw it in the sleeve, and you're good to go. So definitely my preference. I wish that I would have never switched over to the Surface Pro, but at the same time, I'm glad that I did it, because I did love taking all of those notes for neurocranial anatomy. I just wish it wouldn't have gotten so laggy at the end. And last but certainly not least, here's our budget-friendly option, because we can't always get what we want, and sometimes we need to make some concessions, but that doesn't mean that you should pick something that doesn't work. And by that I mean, please don't get anything HP. So here is the budget-friendly option. Here is a Samsung, and the nice thing about this one is it's just as versatile as the other devices that we've spoken about. It's nice, it's tiny, it has a touch screen. The screen is actually not terrible. It's a very decent screen. The keyboard feels nice when you type on it. It's still a little bit plasticky feeling, but it's okay for what we're trying to use it for. And then what's nice about this is that this also comes with its own pencil, and it actually comes out through the back, and you can just take it out and you can use it. So what's nice about this one is that you're not paying a ridiculous amount of money. This one is an Intel Core i7. There's newer models. This is obviously a model that has been out for a little bit, but this is just awesome. It's exactly what you guys need. We've never had an issue with it. It runs very well. It actually can handle a lot of processing with a base model, and I just think that if you're looking for something that you want to upgrade to and you don't have a lot of money to do it, get this. Greg has had a great experience with this computer, and the only thing I would say is maybe once we've had an issue with the touchscreen, but overall it's been a very good device. I would really recommend looking this one up, and just stay away from like crazy models of HP and anything like that, because those are just terrible. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I know that it was quite a bit, but I wanted you to have some options as to what you could take with you to dental school. Again, the main thing is make sure that you get something that is going to be versatile, that's going to work for how much workload you put on your computer. Because if you're somebody like me, I'm doing like 5,000 things at once, and I should have known that before getting the Surface Pro or anything Surface. And then just make sure that you know if you're going to be taking notes digitally or not, to see how important that is to you, so that if not, you can go ahead and just stick with an older computer that you have, or go with the Mac Daddy MacBook Pro, or with something like, you know, like a Samsung or something like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please feel free to keep DMing me videos that you'd like to see. And that's it for now. I will see you guys next time.